I'm Mohammed Bilal, and welcome back to Beyond the Basics. Today, we are tackling one of the most important steps in your entire career journey, completely acing the lead clinical data manager interview. This isn't just about getting a promotion. It's about proving you're ready to lead.
So here's the big question, isn't it? This is the central challenge. You've totally mastered your tasks, you're efficient, you're a fantastic CDM. But how do you actually convince an interviewer that you can manage a process, that you can mentor a team, and that you can own a study's success? That's the question we are going to answer today.
Okay, let's dive right into this. The entire interview, and I mean the whole thing, really hinges on this fundamental mindset shift. As an intermediate CDM, your world revolves around I. I complete my tasks. I close my queries. But to become a lead, you have to start thinking and speaking in terms of we. We achieve the study goals, and I manage the team's process to get us there. It's a huge move from just execution to true oversight.
And that brings us right to our first section. Look, the interview for a lead CDM is way more a test of your leadership potential than your technical skill. They already assume you're technically competent. That's why you're in the room. Now, what they want to see is if you can think bigger.
Now, what's really interesting here is how all of these points are so interconnected. Taking ownership, that means you're not just sitting around waiting for tasks. Guiding junior staff, that shows you can scale your impact beyond just yourself. And communicating with stakeholders and managing risks, well, that proves you see the entire project, the whole picture, not just your one little piece of it. This is the core of what they're listening for in your answers.
And this quote right here, this really gets to the heart of it. Just let that sink in for a moment. Your value is no longer measured by how fast you can do something. It's measured by your ability to enable the entire team's success. Your goal is to make the whole process more efficient, more reliable, and that's a completely different skill set.
So, how do you actually show them you have this new mindset? You do it by telling compelling leadership stories. So, in this next section, we're going to break down exactly how to structure your answers to turn your experiences into undeniable proof that you're ready to lead.
A classic. Interviewers love this one. You know why? Because a mid-study change is the perfect test. It disrupts the plan, it requires coordination, communication, problem-solving, the whole 9 yards. A weak answer just focuses on the technical update. A strong answer shows how you manage the entire process.
So here's the game plan. The crucial thing is to use a structure just like this. First, you define the challenge. What was the change, and why was it so tricky? Second, you detail your impact analysis. How did you figure out the effect on timelines, the budget, other teams? Third, you explain your communication plan. Who did you tell, when, and how? And finally, you confirm the documentation was all buttoned up. See? This shows you're not just a doer, you're a manager of process and of people.
All right, let's move on to the next one. This one gets right to the point. It directly probes your ability to develop a team. This question isn't just about being a helpful colleague, it's about whether you can actually elevate the skills of the people around you, which is an absolutely core function of any leader.
And again, structure is your best friend here. Don't just say, oh yeah, I helped someone. No, tell a specific coaching story. Describe a task you actually delegated. That shows you trust others. Then, and this is crucial, explain your review process. How did you ensure quality without micromanaging? And finally, mention giving constructive feedback. This proves you're invested in their growth, not just in getting a task done.
And for our final example, we've got a really high-stakes question about database lock. Now, for an intermediate CDM, this is all about completing your final tasks. But for a lead, it's about orchestrating the entire event. The interviewer wants to see if you truly understand that big picture.
A really strong answer here shows you're the conductor of the orchestra, not just one of the musicians. You talk about coordinating all the reconciliation activities, which proves you see all the different data sources. You'd explain how you align the cross-functional teams, because a lead's job is to break down those silos between stats, programming, and clinical ops. You validate timelines to prevent downstream delays, and you ensure every single sign-off is in place, because you own that final quality gate. This comprehensive view is what separates a doer from a leader, every time.
Okay, so we've broken down the mindset and the method. Now let's talk about what you can do right after watching this to get ready. It is time for your action plan. And don't worry, it all comes down to 3 simple key steps. Okay, first, and I mean this, don't wait until the interview to think of examples. Write down 3 powerful leadership stories now. Second, say them out loud. Practice in front of a mirror, record yourself. Hearing yourself builds confidence, and it really smooths out your delivery.
And finally, draft a 1-minute pitch for why you are ready to lead. This will be your anchor for that all-important "so, tell me about yourself" question. So I'm going to leave you with this question to really think about. What is the one story from your career that best demonstrates you're not just a great data manager, but a great future leader? Think about that, prepare it, and you'll be ready for anything.
Thanks so much for joining me for this Beyond the Basics Explainer. Our goal here is to help you navigate that really crucial transition from just executing tasks to truly owning projects. Hey, if you found this helpful, please do me a favor and like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We release new explainers for Beyond the Basics every single Monday. And if you know someone who's just starting out, our beginner series, Mentoring Maya, drops every Wednesday. I'll see you next time.